What if I told you that she's been giving you the green light all along, but you've been too distracted to notice? Most guys assume that if a woman likes them, she'll just come out and say it. But real attraction rarely works that way. Especially when emotions are involved, she hides her interest behind mixed signals, subtle behaviors, and moments that seem meaningless. Unless you know what to look for. But here's the good news. Those hidden signs aren't just random, they're invitations. And once you understand them, everything changes. You'll stop feeling confused, you'll stop guessing, and you'll start moving with clarity and confidence. Power isn't in reacting, it's in recognizing patterns before others do. Right now, you're standing at a crossroads. Continue ignoring the signs and risk missing your moment, or learn to see what's been right in front of you this whole time. Now, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I stay aware, I move with clarity. Let's uncover the truth. Number 1. The hidden signs she's attracted to you, without saying it. Attraction isn't always verbal. It often hides in the quiet gestures and small details that most men overlook. The way a woman looks at you when you enter a room, if her smile lights up more than usual, if her eyes linger for half a second too long, those are the signals that matter. A stoic man doesn't react or chase, he observes without assumption. It's rarely random when she plays with her hair, mirrors your posture, or fidgets nervously in your presence. These are primal, subconscious ways of saying she's engaged, even if her words remain neutral. If she remembers small things you've told her, your favorite song, your coffee order, it's a sign she's paying attention because she values the connection. Her posture speaks too, leaning in, feet pointing toward you, or choosing to sit nearby are clear signs of comfort and interest. She may dress better when she knows she'll see you or mention you when you're not around, small efforts that reveal deeper intent. A stoic man doesn't get swept away by these gestures. He acknowledges them inwardly and responds only when necessary. Her actions are a reflection of her internal state, not your validation. So stay calm, stay grounded, and let her reveal herself in silence. The game isn't in chasing confirmation, it's in recognizing what's already being shown. Number 2. The hidden language of touch and imitation. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, her body begins to communicate in ways words never could. One of the clearest signs lies in how she interacts physically and mirrors your actions without realizing it. These aren't coincidences if she finds subtle ways to touch you. Perhaps brushing your arm during conversation, playfully nudging you, or even accidentally letting her knee touch yours. Their subconscious cues reveal her desire to bridge the physical space between you. But even more intriguing is the phenomenon of mirroring. She might mimic your posture, your gestures, or even adopt your phrases and energy. If you lean forward, she leans in. If you take a sip of water, so might she a few seconds later. This isn't about manipulation, it's about resonance. Mirroring is a biological sign of rapport and emotional alignment. From a Stoic lens, however, the key is not to be swept away or overanalyze. The wise man observes but does not react impulsively. Your goal isn't to respond with excitement or chase validation. Your role is to notice calmly and allow her actions to unfold naturally. If the energy is real, it will continue. If it's fleeting or superficial, your emotional stillness will protect you from being drawn into a false sense of connection. In today's world of over-explaining and constant digital validation, staying grounded in the face of someone else's curiosity or attraction is magnetic. So when she twirls her hair while laughing at your joke, or subtly imitates your body language, understand it for what it is, a sign of interest rooted in instinct. But remain in your center. You're not here to chase, you're here to lead with presence. That quiet power will always say more than words. Number 3. When she remembers the details you forgot. There's something deeply telling when a woman recalls small, seemingly insignificant details about you. Your favorite childhood song, the name of your dog you mentioned once in passing, or that random craving for mango ice cream you casually brought up weeks ago. This isn't just about having a good memory, it's about where her attention is. In a world of constant distraction and shallow interactions, remembering minor things is rare and powerful. When a woman brings up these moments unprompted, she was truly present when you shared them. She was listening, not just hearing. From a Stoic perspective, this type of attention is meaningful because it signals intentionality without needing overt expression. She's not complimenting you openly or flooding your inbox with praise. She's simply demonstrating interest through action. This subtle, quiet investment speaks volumes, but here's the trick. Don't reward it with desperation. Don't gush or rush to match her effort just to keep her interested. Instead, hold your ground, appreciate it inwardly but stay composed. The more you stay centered, the more powerful your presence becomes in her eyes. Why? Because she's not just responding to what you say, she's responding to who you are when you say nothing. In a society where people forget conversations within minutes, someone who remembers proves they care, and when she chooses to remember you, she thinks about you long after you've stopped talking. That's where true attraction begins, not with declarations, but with the quiet echo of your presence living in her memory. Number 4. When her body speaks louder than her words. Sometimes the clearest signs of attraction aren't spoken. They're expressed through subtle shifts in body language. When a woman leans in just slightly while you talk, her shoulders face you, even in a group setting, or her knees point in your direction under the table, her body is telling a story, and that story often speaks louder than any flirtatious words ever could. These are subconscious signals. She's not calculating or rehearsing them. They arise from comfort, interest, and most importantly, the desire to be closer to you without openly admitting it. The most revealing moments are those when she mirrors your posture, touches her neck or collarbone while listening, or adjusts her appearance, fixing her hair, smoothing her clothes, when you enter the room. These cues aren't about vanity, they're about presence. You don't respond to these signs from a Stoic lens by pouncing or acting urgently. You observe. You remain grounded. Your value isn't in what you react to, but in what you stay centered through. A man who doesn't chase validation, who sees the signals and calmly receives them without ego, becomes the rare energy she doesn't want to lose. He doesn't need to win her attention, it gravitates toward him. Remember, most communication happens without words, so when her eyes soften, her voice gets just a bit warmer around you, or she finds reasons to stay a little longer in your presence, she's speaking, just not with her mouth. Don't overlook it, but don't cling to it either. Let her gravitate toward your calm. Let your stillness do the speaking. Number 5. Nervous energy reveals what words hide. When a woman exhibits subtle signs of nervousness in your presence, like fidgeting with her jewelry, playing with her hair, biting her lip, or adjusting her posture repeatedly, it's not just coincidence. These gestures often emerge when attraction builds beneath the surface, where vulnerability and uncertainty collide. She may stumble over her words, laugh a little too hard at a mediocre joke, or suddenly forget what she was about to say. These are raw, unfiltered expressions of emotional tension, not fear, but excitement laced with anticipation. From the Stoic point of view, your role isn't to immediately comment on her nervousness or try to fix it. You remain steady, offering a calm presence that reassures without needing to control. You don't rush to interpret every move, you simply notice. When she's fidgety around you, it often means she's emotionally invested. You're not just another man passing by, you've disrupted her equilibrium and made her care about how she appears, sounds, and perceives. That energy shift is significant, but your strength lies in not letting her nervousness become your ego trip. You stay grounded. You don't flirt just to extract approval or push for validation. You maintain presence. You allow her the space to relax without pressure, deepening trust and attraction. Because ultimately, when a woman's poised exterior breaks into subtle nervousness, it's a form of truth, a glimpse behind the veil. And if you're centered enough to see it without exploiting it, she'll feel safe being her real self around you. That's not just attraction, that's connection. Number 6. The unspoken invitation in a tilted neck. When a woman instinctively tilts her head and subtly exposes her neck while speaking to you, it's more than just an unconscious posture adjustment. It's one of the oldest nonverbal signs of vulnerability and openness in the human social playbook. Biologically, the neck is a fragile area, and when someone reveals it, even momentarily, they're signaling a level of trust and submission. She may do this while laughing, listening intently, or brushing her hair aside, and often she's not even aware she's doing it. But you should be. This isn't a cue to pounce or overanalyze from a stoic lens. It's a moment to observe and appreciate, without attachment or ego. You don't lean in with neediness. You don't overcompensate with charm. You simply acknowledge what's offered and hold your ground. Because when a woman exposes her neck, she's not just flirting, she's inviting you into a space of softness, showing that she's comfortable enough around you to drop her armor, even if briefly, and your response, calm, poised, unshaken, sends the message that you're worthy of that trust. You're not fazed by the moment. You don't need to prove yourself. You let her lean into that energy of safety and intrigue without demanding more than she's ready to give. Most men rush to respond with words or actions, but a man rooted in his own value knows the power of silence and stillness. He doesn't chase signs, he lets them come and he lets them breathe. When you can remain grounded while her body language opens up to you, she senses that you're not just another man looking for validation. You're someone who sees her without exploiting her. And that's when attraction begins to evolve into genuine connection. Number 7. The quick glance that lingers. A woman's eyes often speak before her words do, and one of the clearest yet most misunderstood signs of interest is the fleeting glance. Those quick, seemingly casual looks in your direction that always happen just a little too often to be accidental. She might look away immediately when your eyes meet, or hold your gaze for just a second longer than necessary before looking down or away, sometimes with a subtle smile. These moments may feel small, but they're anything but meaningless. The human brain processes eye contact on a deeply emotional level. It signals connection, attention, and in this context, desire. From a Stoic perspective, these glances are not invitations to inflate your ego or assume too much. They are signals to be noted, not chased. You observe them like a seasoned sailor watches the wind, not to control it but to understand its direction. The man, grounded in Stoic discipline, doesn't get flustered when she looks his way. He doesn't look back, seeking affirmation. He lets the moment settle into the space between them, calm and composed, radiating presence instead of pressure. This kind of self-secession is rare and magnetic. It tells her you're not trying to win her over. You're simply being, and that makes you different. The more she glances, the more she's trying to read you. She'll keep looking if all she sees is stillness, confidence, and curiosity, not neediness. And over time, that look stops being a test and becomes a silent invitation. Most men react. The Stoic man notices. That's the difference. Number 8. When her style evolves just for you. When a woman starts adjusting her appearance in subtle yet noticeable ways every time she knows she'll see you, That's rarely coincidence. It's intention wrapped in aesthetics. Whether it's trying a different hairstyle, wearing a fragrance you once casually mentioned liking, or dressing in a way that subtly aligns with what she knows draws your attention, these changes are her way of communicating interest without words. This isn't about vanity. It's about investment. She's signaling, I want to be seen by you, noticed by you, remembered by you. But here's where many men falter. They overreact, shower her with compliments too quickly, or begin chasing the moment, thinking they've won something. The Stoic man doesn't do that. He understands that attention is valuable currency, and just because she's investing it doesn't mean he has to spend it all in one place. Instead, he stays grounded, offering appreciation when it's earned, but never acting as if her effort dictates his worth. From the Stoic lens, you acknowledge the gesture without letting it shake your equilibrium. A simple, well-placed compliment, "You seem different today, I like it," does more than fawning praise ever could. It shows observation, presence, and subtle leadership. It lets her know you notice the effort without becoming enthralled by it. She doesn't want to be pedestalized. She wants to be understood. And when you can meet her signal with poise, when you can see through the layers of mascara and fragrance and into the intention behind them, you become the kind of man she keeps showing up for, over and over again, not because you demanded her attention, but because you knew how to hold space for it. Number 9. When her words echo in praise but dance in disguise. One of the most overlooked signs of attraction is when a woman compliments you indirectly, often through stories, jokes, or subtle comparisons. She might say, "Not every guy can keep up with a conversation like this," or "You listen better than most people I know." These aren't just passing remarks, but reflections of how she sees you. She's testing the waters, offering admiration without making herself too vulnerable. She's observing how you respond. Do you soak it in with ego? Do you downplay it with false modesty? Or do you simply acknowledge and move forward with grounded calm? The Stoic man chooses the third path. He doesn't seek validation from compliments, but he's aware of their deeper meaning. These indirect praises often signal a woman's deeper emotional investment, especially when given in front of others. They're her way of saying, "You stand out," without breaking the illusion of casualness. Instead of overanalyzing or clinging to those words, the Stoic listens, smiles slightly, and lets the words hang in the air, untouched by desperation. Because real power isn't in reacting, it's in recognizing what's unfolding and choosing how to respond. When a woman begins to highlight your intelligence, integrity, or presence subtly, she often reveals more than she intends. And when you can meet that revelation with quiet confidence rather than hunger, you shift the dynamic from pursuit to magnetism. You become the man she doesn't just compliment, but the man she begins to believe only she can truly understand. Number 10. The unspoken choice to be close. It's rarely accidental when a woman consistently chooses to sit near you, even in settings where she has other options. Her physical proximity signals a desire for emotional closeness, whether at a dinner gathering, a casual hangout with friends, or even during a group activity. It's not about the seat itself, but the space she chooses to occupy, and often it's the quietest gestures that speak the loudest. Choosing to be next to you is her way of saying, "I feel safer, more seen, more alive in your presence." It's a silent trust, a non-verbal bid for connection. But here's where the Stoic man separates himself. He doesn't jump to conclusions or seek to capitalize immediately on her closeness. He doesn't shift into charm mode or try to impress. Instead, he lets the space breathe. He lets the moment unfold on its merit. He notices the subtle lean toward him when the conversation picks up, the slight smile when their arms accidentally brush, the way she mirrors his posture without even realizing it. This stems from a simple truth. Attraction is often more about comfort and energy than dramatic gestures. The man who doesn't force the moment, who simply exists in his presence, is the one who invites genuine intimacy. Her choice to sit near you isn't a test. It's an offering, an invitation. And the most powerful response is to accept it, not with entitlement, but with grounded ease. Let her settle into your world without feeling pressured to entertain or impress. That calm, collected demeanor does more to deepen her interest than any clever line ever could. Because in the end, women aren't drawn to noise, they're drawn to presence. And presence begins the moment you stop needing to prove anything at all. Number 11. When she seeks the spotlight just for you. Sometimes the loudest form of interest is cloaked in a performance. A woman who likes you but isn't quite ready to confess it outright will often capture your attention indirectly, telling a story louder than usual, laughing a bit too hard, or inserting herself into the center of the moment when you're nearby. These aren't signs of arrogance. They're subconscious strategies to make you notice her without seeming too obvious. When a woman seeks your attention, she's not just trying to be seen by everyone. She wants to be seen by you specifically. Whether it's choosing a conversation topic you've mentioned in passing or playing up a quality she knows you admire, her efforts aren't random. They're targeted. But here's the key. A man rooted in Stoic self-cessation doesn't immediately reward the behavior with overexcitement. He observes, acknowledges it inwardly, but stays calm. He doesn't interrupt her story to show approval or rush in to validate her efforts. Instead, he lets her feel seen simply by being present and unfazed. This paradoxically draws her closer because he becomes the one man whose attention she truly wants. Not because it's easily given, but because it's authentic when it is. When she seeks your attention, don't chase. Let her reach. Let her feel the reward of connection, not through compliments, but through presence. This is how power quietly shifts, not through control, but through unwavering self-certainness. Because ultimately, women aren't pulled toward the man who reacts to every gesture. They're pulled toward the one who responds only when it's real. Number 12. When she joins your world without invitation. One of the most powerful yet understated signs that a woman is genuinely drawn to you is when she starts inserting herself into your world, your interests, your routines, your passions, without waiting for permission or needing an excuse. Maybe she suddenly becomes curious about the books you read, the music you love, or the gym you frequent. Maybe she asks questions, not just out of politeness, but out of sincere intrigue. She's not just trying to understand what you do, she's trying to understand who you are. This isn't manipulation or performance, it's a quiet form of admiration. From a Stoic lens, this is where your awareness must be sharp. You don't over-collaborate it, and you don't reject it. You simply note it. You acknowledge that someone is drawn toward your gravity, not because you chased, but because you stayed still and strong. A woman who joins your world is sending a message louder than words. She respects your path and wants to walk part of it with you. The mistake many men make is altering that path to accommodate her interest. But a grounded man doesn't do that. He continues walking, focused on his mission. If she keeps pace, it's meaningful. If she falls behind, it wasn't meant to be. Because true attraction doesn't come from pulling someone in. It comes from standing so firmly in who you are that they want to follow without being asked. When she starts showing up where you are, leaning into what you love, recognize it for what it is. Not coincidence, but connection. But still, walk your path, always. You started this video unsure, second-guessing every little thing she did, but now you see those subtle actions weren't coincidences. They were clues. She didn't hide her feelings to play games. She hid them because she didn't think you were ready to lead. But now you are. If you're ready to stop guessing and start seeing with clarity, like this video, subscribe and comment below. I am unstoppable. Stay sharp, stay calm, because awareness isn't just power, it's freedom.